Hey guys, we're back with another video for you. We got it's a junkyard hood, and it's got a lot of clear coat failure. It's fading, it's cracking. See if I can find some stuff for you. Now, if you had the time to do it the right way, you probably might want to strip it all the way down, but this is just a collision job. So what we're gonna do is prep this whole hood, prime this whole hood, and repaint it. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. We started over here. You can see somebody's got some old Bondo work right here. But what you're looking for is you want to get rid of that clear and that base. Otherwise, you're gonna have shrink backs and possible failures in the future. So we're gonna keep going with this and show you what we got. All right, here's our situation, guys. This thing's been painted a couple times. See if I can show you this. We got the original clear from the top layer that was faded that we saw earlier. Then we got this layer of base coat here. And we got another layer of clear. And then we got some base coat here, and it looks like some primer. Now with this body work being here, it's suspect that that's probably primer, not necessarily E-coat. Because there's your factory E-coat. So when you got something like this, if you just take it down to what we got here and prime over it, you're more likely gonna have a problem. See that shiny edge? All that has to be smoothed out. Or, I mean, not smoothed out, it needs to be gone, completely gone, in order for you to have a quality refinish on this hood. Little public service announcements. This is an insurance job, and this is an LKQ hood. Nothing wrong with the hood itself, it's just whoever had it before has been painted on, and multiple times. I'm not gonna say what car this is or what insurance company, but this is why you don't want your insurance company to just pay for aftermarket or junk car products like an LKQ or any kind of junkyard products, because you don't know what you're gonna get. A lot of shops would have probably just took this LKQ hood and scuffed it up and shot some primer over it and painted it. We're not going to do that here. We're going to strip it down, and I'm actually going to charge the insurance company to do this since it was their decision to use an LKQ hood. I'm going to have to charge them to prep this LKQ hood. And we're going to prep this hood in a manner that I feel comfortable warrantying. We stand behind our stuff, so I'm going to strip it down. I'll probably strip it down to either this or bare metal, a lot of this stuff, and we're going to run some epoxy primer over it and go from there. So since we found what we found, we know it's got the OEM paint and it's been repaired, and it's got another paint on it. We're gonna go ahead and take it down to at least this step here, all across it. I feel more comfortable putting my products and what I gotta do over this than this. So we went ahead and switched grits. We were sanding with 180. I switched over to 80 grit in light of the situation here. So it just saves some time. And depending on what kind of substrate I got, I may go back over it with 180, but if I've got bare steel or aluminum, I think this is aluminum. If I got that, then I'll stick with that with 80 grit before I prime it. All right guys, here's where we're at. We got it stripped down to pretty much E-coat or bare aluminum. And we're gonna go ahead and epoxy prime this thing. So we're gonna do a pre-treatment white for all that bare aluminum and everything, making sure we got that prepped correctly. And then this is the product I'm gonna use. It's Sikkens AkzoNobel. It's a epoxy primer. It's kind of a hybrid. It's more of a surfacer builder. Probably very similar to a VP 2050. If you guys know what that is, I'm sure a lot of you do. At least that's what I can compare it to, because it's got similar hardener. This is the hardener for it. It's very resiny. So yeah, step one, we're just going to do a water prep, make sure it's really dry, and then we're going to grease and wax remove it, make sure everything's dried off real good, and then we're going to hit it with those pre-treatment wipes. And then we're going to put that EP2 epoxy primer surfacer. I'll show you what we got when we get done. I'm sure I'm gonna get a comment or two about this. Yes, if this was a restoration build, we should have stripped it completely to aluminum or steel or whatever you got. But this is a collision repair, and this is a used hood, and I feel like we've got it prepped fairly well. At least this is a lot better than most shops. Got the first coat on. Gonna let it flash. At least now I know what's at the bottom of this. Here's what we got. We got 2 coats on it. We're gonna let it sit overnight. Oh, I got a dent. Y'all see that? I'm glad I got epoxy down first. We will put body filler over epoxy. All right, here's what we're working with. We went ahead and sanded it all down. We D8'd it with 400, went back over it with some 500. Now we got our sealer on it. We fixed that little dent there. That wasn't a problem. So yeah, from here we're gonna base clear, and I'll show you the end results. All right, guys, here's the finished product. I didn't want to bore you guys with a bunch of sanding and repriming and all that stuff, so I kind of went straight to the good stuff. I guess the moral of the story is if you got multiple layers of paint, get that stuff off of there, get it down to something you know is stable, and go from there. You saw in the video, we got this hood down to aluminum and a little bit of E-coat, and we went from there and epoxy primed it. Now I know that hood's gonna last. I can sleep at night, and I'm happy with it. If you haven't already done so, guys, hit the subscribe button, like, follow, make some comments, let me know what you think. Let me know if you think if I made a mistake. Appreciate you guys watching.